Technology as the co-founder and co-CEO of allhiphop.com. Give it up for Chuck Creekmur.
Let's go, Chuck.
You see my man, and now, the person you all been waiting for. This man is an innovator, a motivator, a philanthropist. Run DMC McDaniels, aka Devastate and Mind Control. He changed music and made history when he broke down cultural barriers with his legendary band Run DMC. 40 million record sales and 1 billion streams later, he continues to inspire and impact the world. Let me say it again since y'all ain't clapping up. 40 million record sales and 1 billion streams later.
Godfather to hip hop.
He was the first rap group on MTV, the first to grace the cover of Rolling Stone. He's in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame, he's in the Rock Hall of Fame. Inductee and Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. Everybody stand the hell up and give it up to DMC.
How y'all doing? Alright, peace. Alright, real quick.
It's like the inside the actor studio.
Alright, so definitely. Alright, so we gonna have a nice conversation.
Yes, sir.
DMC. First of all, let me tell y'all, in the industry, if you've been in the industry long enough, you have a running list of who's treated you good, who's done you right, who's done right by your organization. Number one on that list is this man right here.
Oh, thank you.
I can't tell you a better human being in this music game, which is very treacherous at times.
Yes.
Right. So I got it's story time, real quick, D.
Okay.
Story time, real quick. All right. Once upon a time, in Delaware, at the Stone Balloon, in Newark.
Main Street.
Okay, y'all feel me, right? Run DMC and Jam Master Jay came to town.
Yes, they did.
Now, on that day, at the end of the night, Run D and J take a Sharpie and they sign a t-shirt, each of them, including Jay. And they say, we're gonna give this t-shirt to the hypest fan in the crowd. Okay? So, I was in the crowd, right in the middle, right in the front. And I remember clear as day, there was this young man, young little dude. He said, it's my birthday. I should get the t-shirt. I was like, yeah, get out of here. And I just was like, it's me.
The attitude.
And,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
here it is.
All three of us. That's
Here it
crazy.
is, all three of them. Now, here's the catch.
That's history.
Here's the catch.
Delaware. I wrote Delaware on it.
Yeah. Here's the catch. It was 28 years ago to this very day.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
My man Jason and I were talking about it. I said,
Really?
Yeah.
This day it happened.
28 years ago
Wow.
on Saturday to this day. So it's full
That's
circle.
crazy.
Full circle.
And I wrote Delaware on it.
Yes. So thank you.
You love
I was
us.
there.
You were there. DMC, the all-time. All right, Z. We go way back. I don't even want to get into the history, but I just want to thank you, first of all, for treating me, Greg, all hip-hop so good. First things first. Secondly,
You're all hip hop, that's why.
yeah, thank you. Secondly, I want to thank you for what you've given to the world as an ambassador of the culture. To all these people, to everybody, nobody has a bad thing to say about you.
Well, all of us were in this hip hop thing together. That's what people don't realize. Like, it's crazy because you say hip hop now, the first thing people think is, oh, how rich are they, how famous they are, who they're fighting, and who they're dating. But back in the day, if you would say hip hop, you would think, oh, those records are so good.
Yeah.
De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, Run DMC, across the border. So we still got work to do. Even when it was the 50th year of hip hop, I said 50 years of hip hop, and we just getting started. And people say, what do you mean 50 years? No. Only thing hip hop has done to the masses is prove that we can sell some records. But we got to use the culture, especially now, with what all hip-hop, what you're doing. We got access to TV, radio, digital, all of that. And the reason why I'm saying that is, it was 1988. And check this tour out. It was Run DMC, we as the headliners, of course. EPMD, Eric B. and Rakim, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, shout out to Will, and Eric and Public Enemy. So we on the side of the stage, we're watching Rakim. All of us watching Rakim, and we're going, damn, we can't do that. Like, this is special.
What tour?
This was in 1988. It was like a 5-6 city tour that we was doing. I forgot which one. It was a small little quick tour that Russell and them threw together.
Okay.
And the discussion came up about why is hip hop so good? So, you know, oh yeah, we're doing arenas now, running them, got us getting sneaker deals, this and that. Even all the way down to, man, we can get all the weed we want, we can get all the English we want, we can go, you know what I'm saying, the kids stuff and stuff like that. And the conversation went around, the first thing, and Chuck was 24. The first thing, and I remember this, because Run and Jay smoked more weed than they could grow on earth. I drank more 40s than Old English could put out. And the first thing Chuck said was, I never got, with that God voice, I never got high a goddamn day in my life.
Yeah.
So what that did to me, and I was a huge Chuck D fan, I'm standing there with coke in my pocket and weed and everything, and everybody's bathtub was filled with 40s and ice. We get the ice machine, so when Chuck said that, I remember going back to the dressing room, sitting down and going, so why does he rhyme so good? Because the perception was, you know, doing all of this stuff with making nice. When Chuck said that, but then Chuck said, nah, the most positive thing, the most powerful thing and good thing about this hip hop is this. There's always a mic in front of us. We're making records, we're on TV, we're on the radio. That's an opportunity for us to uplift everybody who is participating, looking, and listening. And I'll never forget that. So the greatest thing that Run DMC did without asking was we were the chosen representatives for the hip hop culture. Yeah. It was a responsibility for us. About 30, 40 years ago, somebody said, if you go to the dictionary and look up hip hop, it's no words, it's just a picture of me running Jay. That's powerful.
That's strong.
And then somebody recently said about 10 years ago, if you go on the internet and look up hip hop, you see a picture of Run DMC and Jay. So we embodied everything from day one, even to the point where we were currently involved in it. And what's missing now from the hip hop is the responsibility of the people touching those microphones.
Excellent point. Excellent point. So I know we're on basically a limited time.
Gotcha.
But I want to go to the sort of the beginnings, right?
Yeah.
So 1984 is when Run DMC's first album came out.
Right, first album. First single was 83. It's
right.
Like That Circumcision.
Absolutely. I got so many questions.
Right.
All right.
Ask them all.
But I'm going to kind of keep it in context with the topic of race and breaking down barriers. The first video is Rockbox, and then it begins with
a little white kid.
Yes, a little white kid, and it ends with that same little white kid running, chasing y'all.
Yeah.
What
that was
your,
very subliminal.
I'm gonna condense my questions.
About, though?
So there's that, and then there's King of Rock. Now y'all gotta look these videos up because this is the MTV generation as it began to boom. That video started with at a museum, the Rock and Roll Museum.
Right.
And and the white man is like, you can't.
You guys can't come in here. This is a rock and roll music, but it's deep in there. We don't want your kind in here.
Exactly.
Which is not smart because the rock and roll started with black people. The blues is the roots. Everything else is the fruits.
That's fact. Everything comes from
And
blues.
what's crazy, Chuck, is all of here's what's crazy. And it's not their fault, Chuck says that. When you interview these rappers now, they think Outkast is old school. You know, like that's how bad it's gotten.
Right.
But you're supposed to know, or you're supposed to want to know. And the perfect example of what this King of Rock video signified was, if you sit down with Keith Richards and Mick Jagger and do an interview about the Rolling Stones, the majority of the interview is going to be about the blues artist, the black blues artists that influenced them. You come and talk to Mick, he's going to talk about Howlin' Wolf and Muddy Water. Go look at the interview.
Yeah.
Same thing with our friends Steven Tyler and Joe Perry. Sit down and try to talk to them about them. And no, they're going to give the props to that. So when we was doing that, when we did Rockbox, which was the first rock rap record, Walk This Way was the third rock rap record, but the real third rock record is the Raising Hell song, because we always made a title rock song. It's just that Raising Hell blew out the waters. But when we did Rockbox, we was trying to make Billy Squires' Baby, which is a rock song. So what I'm trying to say is rock always had its presence in hip hop. Before rap records was made, before rappers alike, if you would have went to a block party, house party, or park party, and heard Bam, Flash, Charlie Chase, whatever DJ was playing, in the crate was jazz, R&B, funk, disco, when they do disco, but also rock songs. So we were trying to make Billy Squires' Big Beat. Then when we did King of Rock, the motive behind King of Rock was, it wasn't really a white or black thing, it was a hip hop thing, because they were saying, this music's a fad, you ain't gonna be around, whatever, whatever. So me, I would say, I was always a kid when I was writing my rhymes, I was thinking like from a comic book. So I was like,
talk about
yeah,
that, but go ahead.
I was like, to put it in their face, I'm not gonna say I'm the king of rap.
Right.
I'm gonna say I'm the king of rock, meaning I was a little kid in my room saying, when I walk in the room, I want Elvis to bow down to me. I want Jerry Lee Lewis to get up off that throne and say, do you sit here? So the Rockbox, and especially the King of Rock, was even deeper, Chuck, because when we did get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in '09, they was like, D, come here. You guys were prophetic. And I was like, why? They said in 1985, you did a video called The King of Rock with Larry Bud Melman from the David Letterman show at the front door of a Rock and Roll Museum denying your entry. I said, what's the big deal? They hit me with this, Chuck. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame didn't exist in '85. It didn't start till '86. So,
Oh shit.
I knew since the inception of rock and roll that, no, it didn't start. So that video was actually, you know what's going on, why is rapping and this and that. The reason why hip hop has to be in a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because it started with the black people. In whichever shape, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? I understood what Gene Simmons was just saying it was for rock bands.
Yeah.
That was his thing. He wasn't going against, he was saying, man, I play this guitar, man, we can understand it, but Gene Simmons got to realize that turntable's an instrument now. Because the black folk took it and made it an instrument because we didn't have none.
That's Rest in peace, Ace Frehley, by the way. Kids,
Yeah,
passed away this week. And D'Angelo, of course. And D'Angelo.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Were you guys, this is the MTV generation. MTV was notorious for not allowing black artists on that platform.
Yes.
I always credit Michael Jackson and Run DMC, and I don't...
For being the first black song, man.
Yes.
Breaking the mold. No, but you know who really broke the mold?
Who?
A white man.
Who?
David Bowie.
David
David Bowie was on TV getting interviewed, and then David,
went in.
His question was, why you don't play no more black people?
He went in. Yes, he did. You can look it up. He
Look it up.
He really held them accountable.
He really held it up. But this is your funny joke too. Even some of the people in the MTV era, this is a funny joke, rest in peace, Michael, but people said this, not me. They was like, yo, there was no black people on MTV, yo, but first, because Michael Jackson didn't count. Yes, they did. But they didn't mean it as disrespect to Michael.
Yeah.
We brought blackness.
Yeah.
Michael was
black.
black, but he was
Right.
still the mute. He was that
Pop.
thing that
Pop.
Exactly.
He was pop.
Right, he was there, but he was badass. But we brought a blackness so black that the white people wanted to be
We
black.
can't say what it is, but we know the word.
To be black, they wanted to be what was in them already. You know what I'm saying? Like when the same thing happened, Run DMC did the same thing that the black blues artists did to Eric Clapton. You know, there's a video on YouTube where Muddy Waters is performing in London, and Mick Jagger and Keith were in the crowd like little kids. And they did Rolling Stones at this point, and Muddy sees them and calls them to come up. They was like, no, we can't go up there. But Muddy was like, yes, you can. Because somebody said that what Run DMC did was literally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually done in the Walk This Way video. When Steven Tyler takes the mic stand and knocks down the wall separating us, every country I go to, since '86, they go, DMC, don't you know when Steven Tyler took that mic stand and knocked down the wall in the video? That didn't just happen in the video. So Run DMC was the chosen ones to do for our culture what the powers that be said couldn't be done. You gotta think how much balls we had, or guts, excuse my language, how much guts we had, because in the beginning, hip hop was just singles. It was just like disco. And a lot of young people don't know this. We was just doing disco in the streets. It was the DJ thing, and then the MC thing came along. And to the point where, y'all know the Fat Boys, one of the greatest groups in hip hop. Their first name was the Disco 3. On Jam Master Jay, 1984, and we got the master of the disco scratch. So the world thought hip hop was gonna die like disco died. But it was Run DMC to say, You know what I'm saying? And that's what we did. The secret to our success is on Adidas. Where I say we took the beat from the street and put it on TV. We didn't create it. We took what y'all were doing and put it on TV. It wasn't like Run DMC created this thing. No, we just was the vehicle, the vessels to show the world who we all are. Once that was seen, it was powerful because people that had misconceptions. I work with people in all these big companies, and we become good friends because of hip hop, and these are white people. And they say, man, I'm so pissed off at my parents. I'm like, why? Because their parents didn't know no better. Some of my white friends were told that black and white went to the same high schools in New York. But dead kids were, you don't go in the doors, them people go in. And you don't sit at the tables, them people go in. Which always existed, but hip-hop came along and knocked down those walls of separation to where a white Jewish punk rock group can now make a rap song. The Beasties.
Boys,
Everybody give Eminem so much credit, but they don't talk about the Beasties.
Right.
Now, the Beasties, what was unique about the Beasties, they wasn't white dudes trying to be black. They were white guys using the art of rap. Like Mike D didn't have a gold chain. Mike D, literally, this is true, took the emblem off of Volkswagen, put it on a plastic chain, and stood up in front of the black people like this. But real recognized real. We gave them respect because you ain't trying to be running them. The ad rocket, they wore Adidas, but their Adidas is bare, sturdy. My Adidas gotta be clean. So it's the same feeling, but a different expression that everybody can relate to.
Definitely.
So the whole thing with the King of Rock was, you guys can't come in here, it was deeper than the music. It was saying the struggle of the black people that nobody wanted, the existence of the black people that nobody wanted to recognize. So like Chuck, he'll talk good. Chuck
D
is coming, he was older, so he felt the civil rights movement. I'm a kid, I didn't know, I was like 2, 3. Chuck's 7 or 8, he's seen it affected his families. So when he got to hip hop, he knew he had a purpose with it. So when we got to hip hop, we knew we had a purpose just to do this. Keep what Flash and the Cold Crush and the Funky 4+1 were doing alive, because anything that is commercialized, that is special to a group of people in a community will get diluted, polluted, and destroyed, and used for purposes that it will do more harm to the people that created than good.
Amen. You did a concert. Now I'll call it. It's not fair to call it a concert, but it was a game changer for you. Can you talk about Live Aid a little bit?
Oh, Live Aid.
And explain what it was, because it was a very long
Yeah,
time.
Live Aid was Bob Geldof and all of the greatest people in music getting together to raise money to feed the starving people in Africa.
Yeah.
And we was on the Fresh Fest tour at the time, and we get a call that y'all gotta go to Live Aid. Now we can't. We don't want to go. I'm tired because we on tour.
Yeah.
We had to leave. We had to leave DC. Go to Philly, do the show, and then fly back to DC. So, first of all, we didn't want to go. Then also the rest was like, you trying to set us up. Why they want to see us? We had all these questions. No, we good, just doing that good my thing. But I didn't find out this out till like 40 years later. They had the meeting discussing all the lineup for the Philadelphia show. And Bob Graham, the great promoter, Bob Graham, I think his name was. Bill Graham, yes. Bill Graham is in the meeting, and they're doing a lineup, and then Bill says, you gotta have Run DMC on this tour. About 20 people, why do you want them? That's not even real music, that's a fact, like everything against us. And 2 people, one of the original creators of it that I'm doing something with now, and another person that was in the room. Oh, Bob Geldof himself told me that on a flight going to Canada one night. But Bill Graham says this, and this is Bill Graham, like the guy that knows. He says this, and this was a game changer. Not only that we was worthy of being on there, but we might not have been if Bill wasn't in the room. Bill says, if Run DMC ain't on the show, I'm not participating. 2 people told me that.
That's crazy.
He saw something in this little culture of music that people, but if anybody knows what's going on, he was there at the San Francisco music scene at the Who and Janis Joplin. He saw that in us.
Right. Yeah.
That's powerful. Thank you, Bill. Rest in peace.
You mentioned the Fresh Fest tour.
The first rap tour. Everybody talking about Raising Hell, Fresh Fest.
Right.
Run DMC, Fat Boys, Curtis Blow. Jermaine Dupri was a dancer for Houdini with Jerry curls.
You just, anyway. Yeah, but that was a groundbreaking tour.
Yeah, because we in arenas.
Yeah.
What's the preacher guy that's on TV?
Joe Osteen.
Huh?
No.
Yes, Joe
Osteen.
Yes. He owns the Summit now. That's his church.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
We used to do sold out shows in that venue.
Now it's his church.
In Texas. Now it's his church. The Rockets don't play there anymore. They got a new stadium. We played it was so powerful. The Fresh Fest, we did 2 shows a day. We would do a matinee show for the kids. You know how mad I was at that? I don't know how the hell we did that.
Yeah.
The whole production would do 2 shows of the Fresh Fest. That's how bad each city and town wanted this hip hop.
All right, so check it. Let me ask y'all real quick. Who was at the Dickinson show when Run DMC came to Dickinson High? Who was there?
I was there.
Greg was there. Jen was there, I know. Nobody else was there? See, y'all ain't real.
They ain't trying to say how old they is. That's why.
In high school, Run DMC came
Man, we played high
Delaware.
schools. Yeah.
Yeah, now, what year was that, Greg? 84.
Yeah, I was gonna say 84, 85, we played high schools and roller skating rinks.
Okay. Well, let me bring it up
That's
to
right.
one more date. I got my man Dave Woolley in the house.
That's
Dave, put up that
official.
flyer. Let's see it.
That's crazy.
Wow.
This Shirley Murdoch, how crazy is
Yeah, that.
Najee in touch. That is crazy.
This will be officially included in the Hip Hop
A
Museum.
Dave Woolley production.
That's upstate. Yeah.
We can tell. Look at the colors.
So yeah, we played high schools and roller skating rinks in the beginning.
How was, and listen, it's hard for people, when you're first, or when you're close to first, or you're a pioneer,
Right.
or you're breaking down walls of division and whatnot.
Right.
It's hard for people to comprehend what that's like. So when you guys dissed Michael, maybe it was.
Yeah, it was a diss. No,
yeah,
Michael.
It was a diss. Okay, it was a diss.
Not to him though. It was a diss to the industry.
To the industry.
For not accepting.
Not
Want
to
to hear
me.
the story?
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to hear.
So, 1988, we get a call. Michael wants to do a record with y'all. So we fly from New York. He owned Paramount Recording Studios on Santa Monica. So we go to LA. It's me, Run, Jay, and DJ Hurricane. So we're supposed to meet Michael at 1. We get there. Michael's not there. He don't show up till 7. So we're there all day waiting for Michael, but then he finally comes in. And he got Bubbles the monkey with him. It was Michael, his assistant, his chef, and he's carrying Bubbles the monkey. And Michael walks in, he got the mask thing on and he got the glove on. Yo, this was crazy. So he walks in, this true story, and we standing there, me, Jay, Run, and Kane, right? And Michael says this, Run DMC, I love you for dissing me. Because he saw his glove taken in the close-up with Adidas, but then he said, I didn't take it personally because I understood what you were trying to do. He says, I love that enthusiasm in people.
You sound just like Mike, man. You sound just like Mike.
If you can read, nobody said that to this day we never came, but if you can read my head, I'm standing, if you can read my mind, I'm like, oh shit. It's Michael Jackson. He's congratulating me for dissing him. And he got some monkey. Bubbles was in overalls, sneaker and hat backwards, walking around the whole time. Like, check this out. So I don't know what that's about. Yeah, Michael Jackson, he understood because we said, the original rhyme with "There's no one chiller" in live or in the street, it would have been "fuck Michael Jackson and this bullshit Thriller." But that's what's like, no, don't say that on the record. So we toned it down. Yeah. Threw the hat on the Beatles, pulled the plug on Jerry Lee Lewis. That was prophetic of what's going on right now. But they don't want hip hop in there, but you gotta put it in there. Because the crazy thing about being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is we sample all the music of the people that's already in there. So you gonna let me in and I stole all the music from y'all? But it's what we did with it that qualifies us to be in there. You know, we followed and enforced it. See, all of y'all know this. For us, our hip hop was an entity created to represent all of us. What I know is the one thing that we got in common in all this room across all cultures and race, creeds, religions and all of that is Saturday morning, right? Cartoons, Brady Bunch, Flintstones, Jetsons. But here's the thing that hip hop is. All we had was the music our mothers and fathers played, right? Whether it was black, white, Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying, host Felipe, Luciano, everything across the board. But the two things that brought us together was Saturday morning, 12 o'clock, Channel 5, the black guy, Don Cornelius Soul Train. Then you would wait an hour. At 1 o'clock on ABC, the white guy, Dick Clark. But Dick Clark was beautiful because Dick Clark would put Sly on American Bandstand, would put Aretha Franklin on American Bandstand. So hip hop gave us the permission to do what Stevie and all of those guys were doing. So it wasn't just about us. So once we knew that was a privilege for us, it was Run. Jay would always say, don't forget our responsibility. Don't forget our responsibility. So we had a responsibility. So the very thought of ignorance and being afraid, oh, you're afraid of those black people, this and that. And all the white people should have been realized, why are you going to be afraid of us and you using our music to create your rock and your metal and stuff like that? And the white guys doing the music, knew this, but it was the way society was. And somebody had once told me, you know what I'm saying, we as a people did what hip hop did with music. Grandmaster Caz said, hip hop didn't create anything, it recreated everything. But what we created, they tried to use it for their purposes. So through slavery, through civil rights, hip hop brought our shit back to us. But the problem is, somewhere along the way in the last couple of decades, it got away from us again. So how do we get it back? We gotta recreate hip hop again. And there's no disrespect to the Dirty South or any other forms. But what happened with hip hop, because media and the airwaves is a powerful thing. And a preacher had once told me this, a pastor told me that. He said the devil controls the airwaves, right? So they took our music and said, don't have any fully clothed women calling themselves queen in front of our daughters. Don't have any people saying, all right, I'm gonna do a record about sex, but I ain't gonna curse, I'm gonna make OPP. Don't have anybody talking about struggle and violence and what's going on in the minds of our community creatively so that everybody can comprehend, like the Ghetto Boys' mind playing tricks on me. Scarface, most of our hip hop records have us doing this for the drug dealer. Hip hop made the drug dealer realize I can talk about something else and I ain't gotta sell drugs no more. So Scarface, listen to his rhyme. He ain't saying praise me because I'm selling drugs and I'm getting I'm getting successfully everything the American dream can get you, but won't give me that opportunity. I'm getting it this way. That's why we celebrate it. But Scarface was like, at night I can't sleep. Lord, show me another way. So you want another way? Here comes DMC from the same streets we all come from going, I'm DMC, in the place to be. I go to St. John's University. Since kindergarten I acquired the knowledge. After 12th grade I went straight to college. So that makes you know shit. That shit can be cool too. So when we was talking, when Chuck said that there's always a mic in front of us, now I understand what Chuck was saying. Okay, we proved we could sell some records. But now we got the opportunity to be journalists and hosts of our own shows. We could be filmmakers like Spike Lee. Y'all seen the movie Sinners? What's his name is a fan of hip hop.
Coogler? Right?
Yes, he's a fan of hip hop. But he didn't only just show the struggle of us black people, he showed what the Asians go through. But the thing that we should learn from the Asians, and even the Jewish people, them motherfuckers stick together.
Oh, God.
Imagine if we create how you walk, talk, all the food. There's a great video on Netflix which is about food. High on the Hog. I could not believe what these motherfuckers in the White House did to our black people just because the macaroni and cheese was so damn good. Enslave them, you ain't gonna be free, you gonna cook that macaroni and cheese so I can look good. And then the guy that invented it said, can I go? He said, no, you ain't go. And then this guy, just to be free and see what the world was about, he had to do something, but at least he thought, okay, it's wrong, but at least my brother will be all right. He said, my brother will stay here and cook, I'm leaving. So he gave him to his brother and let him go. But as long as they had that macaroni and cheese. So with us, as we gave the world macaroni and cheese, and somewhere along the way, the powers that be, you know, the white establishment or whatever, the greedy, hungry money people said, don't serve them the macaroni and cheese no more. Serve them the, what's the Velveeta? When our people should be getting Velveeta. Now, when you look at it, the reason why I was confident, see, what we got to do is we got to give our kids the opportunity, but also the confidence to be courageous in their creative endeavors. Because it's almost like if a kid wants to be in a comic books, or if the kid wants to do art, this beautiful thing right here is heaven. This building is heaven. But it's almost like, oh, if you're not an athlete or a rapper or a drug dealer, you can't be successful. We got to change all of that. The thing that gave me confidence coming out of Hollis, Queens was, I'm hearing hip hop come, and this is before rappers alike. It's coming over the bridge and you're hearing the tapes of Grandmaster Flash, The First Five, Cold Crush, Fantastic Five, Funky 4+1, Treacherous 3. And this is before Mo D became a recording artist and his historic battle with LL. The Treacherous 3, when you would listen to those early tapes, you know, Busy B had a rhyme where he said, up in the morning, out to school, teacher teaching the golden rule about American history and all of that stuff. But out of all of that, he was thinking about how to be a good MC. So it gave you some good values. Right. Hip hop is about taking what's available to you and utilizing that to better yourself. So long story short, on the early tapes, you would hear good things. Don't do this, don't do that. The thing that gave me confidence was the Treacherous 3 did a song called Yes We Can. They sampled the Pointer Sisters. I know we can make it. I know that we can. I know darn well. Now this is crazy. That record, as it is from the 80s, can play right now. This record starts like this. Evil destruction, tax deduction, price inflation rocks the nation, and unemployment is on the rise. It's hard to find a compromise, but if it lasts like this for a long enough time, won't lead to nothing but a higher level of crime. So we say, then they go into rapping. Now, first of all, that flow right there is phenomenal, and the use of the words and concepts. But then there's the part where they go into, you know, as a Treacherous 3, all the issues affecting them then that affect us now. But then the good part of those records is when the Treacherous 3 in the second part of the album, they would break up and Mo would get a verse, LA would get a verse, and Sunshine would get a verse. And you would wait for your favorite part because, I like Sunshine, so that was for you. You get the whole Sun and Mo. But Mo did a game change on this record. It was known in the streets of New York that Mo D was in college. Okay. Before I did that rhyme, and this is significant to what made me say the rhyme that y'all know. It was known in the streets Mo was in college, and he's a college kid, and he don't get high. And it was crazy. There was something about when the drug dealers was in the spot with the change and the cars outside. You know what I'm saying? When you look back to our drug dealers, they didn't advertise that shit. Right. Supreme Team, Fat Cat, no, you knew they were, but they didn't walk around like these rappers rapping. They didn't advertise that shit. And what I'm trying to say is they had a level of respect for them. That's some crazy shit y'all doing. Yeah. I couldn't do that. But the crazy shit is when Mo D walked in, he stood there with his glasses, cool Mo D like this, the whole joint would go. There was some power to that shit. Yeah. So the thing that exposed the power was on this Treacherous 3 record, when it's time for you to show how good your rhyme skills are, this guy Mo D said this, when they passed him the mic, he said, once a nobody from the neighborhood, I took a hop to the top because I knew that I would excel over the rest because I make progress. He said, I don't consider it luck because I'm not blessed. I got my life all together, love the way that I live. Go to school, know I'm cool, and I think positive because it's a right to have fun, lots of pleasures and joy, but it's a brain that separates the men from the boys. Oh my goodness.
Bars.
He was like all those cars and shit, but when he said that, I was like, shit. So when Run asked me to mic, if you listen to Suck MCs, that was Run's solo record. It was Run DMC, me and him doing this like that, the Message record, but he's the star. Russell is going in for his brother Joey. And Run had Suck MCs written, but then Run was like, yo D, I gotta make Russell feel, because Russell knew I was smart and I could write. And he only let me do it like that because I wrote it right. So Run, the Suck MC song was made. It was the B-side of the single. Yeah. And DJ Run was the star with his sidekick. See, I was a sidekick originally. But after what I'm about to say happened. What happened, it put me on the same level as Run. Because Run was already 15 years old, son of Curtis Blow.
Right.
I'm just writing rounds in my bedroom. So Run says, I gotta make Russell believe that you could do this.
Right.
So when Run passed me the mic, I was like, Joe, I didn't write a song for this. So Run always knew I was always writing. He said, motherfucker, you know how Joe is. You know how Run is. You know what I'm saying? He's that guy in Crush Groove. You ever seen Crush Groove? That's part of our success. Fuck you, Russell, fuck the man. So he says to me, motherfucker, you just gonna say your newest rhyme. So I know in the booth, my newest rhyme was a rhyme I wrote about going to school. That I wrote because of what Mo D did for me. So when I said that rhyme, I came out the booth, Russell, you ain't no sidekick no more.
I'm
You
DMC in the place to be.
Exactly. But I had the confidence because of what Mo was doing. I just did an interview with Jaquan here. The message set a template to where the Ghetto Boys had to make mind playing tricks on me. Ice Cube had to leave NWA, and then when Ice Cube left NWA, where did he go? He came to New York City, got with the Bomb Squad.
Hank Shockley.
He said, help me rise, and he did America's Most Wanted, which was explaining the situations that was glorified on the NWA record. Because Ice Cube was saying, this ain't cool, I'm hiding in a fucking tank and there's guns around me, but let me tell you why. And let me tell you, I want to better myself. So Run DMC, we always had a responsibility, but it was from the people that did the hip hop. The Africa Bambaataa and the Soulsonic Force, Zulu Nation, was the biggest street gang in New York City. But they realized, man, if we could have this much power fighting each other in these streets, what's going to happen if we get together and start a van program for the elderly? What if we do after school programs? So they stopped fighting each other and they started creating. So this is the point that we are right now. When Run DMC did the 50th year anniversary hip hop performance at Yankee Stadium, my whole thing was, yo, 50 years of hip hop, we just getting started. And all of y'all in here, all of you in here, my story's cool. You grew up with me, you lived it. But I want to know your story. What did you do when you went home after the Run DMC concert? What was going on? What was the political situation, social situation, educational situation? All of y'all sitting in here are the next books, feature films, Academy Award-winning series. Get your shit together. Don't find these students that are at Delaware University and say, yo, I want to do a documentary on, and you be the subject. You don't have the information a history book or a politician could never give for us. And you'll be sitting next to it and they'll be calling your name for the Emmy. And if you don't believe me, when I was going through my mental health struggle, I was drinking a case of Old English a day. You know the 40 ounces? A case. But hold up, the funny joke is that's during the day. At nighttime, Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, and Johnny Walker were my best friends. So it's a 24-hour cycle, 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours. But when I got to the place where I didn't want to live anymore, and then I said, you know what? If I die tomorrow, I want people to know the Darryl, the guy that made the DMC thing possible with Run and J. So I wanted to write a book, Chucky, and I was like, yo, I'm Darryl McDaniels, 1/3 of the groundbreaking rap group Run DMC. You know me, first to go gold, first to go platinum, first on the cover of Rolling Stone, first with a sneaky up. But I'm really just Darryl McDaniels from Hollis, Queens, New York, no different from any boy or girl on the face of the earth. I was born May 31st, 1964. Now, I knew my birthday, but I ain't know no details. So long story short, I called my mother up. Mom, I should have told my mom, I'm alcoholic, I'm suicidal, I don't want to live, I'm depressed, but you know how stigma is. So I was just like, Mom, I'm writing a book just to make it more interesting for the reader. My birthday's May 31st, how much did I weigh, what time I was born, what hospital, she tells me. Hang up the phone. Hour goes by, she calls back with my father. I have something else to tell you. Okay, what? Now I'm thinking they're gonna go, well, when you was born, there was a power outage in the hospital, we gave birth to you by candlelight. Hit me with this. You was a mother when we brought you home and you're adopted, but we love you behind closed. So then I found out that I was a foster kid. So what I'm trying to say is your story can save a life. Your story, I'm sitting there at the Emmy Awards, and this is why, your story, not mine. The reason why my story was shocking, everybody thought that DMC was the mighty king of rock who walked his way in as Adidas to tell the world tricky how life can be. But it was really the setup. Your story is given to you to tell, to utilize, to pass down. That's why the forefathers from Africa to all of the struggle that we had in this country, they trying to shut us up. And if you don't believe me, they're trying to shut us up. I did 2 interviews a day and I was talking about how disrespectful the old school and new is to me. Even when they first started doing it, we got the old school and new, we got DMC in it. Now the perception is, oh, they're showing homage to you and they're paying homage to you. Since they first invited me to, when I said, this shit is disrespectful, why DMC, you're on the radio at noon, this and that. And my first question was to the program director, where the kids at? In school, they don't hear me. But they see me at 61, but they don't hear me talking about what I did when I was their age. But I was able to see what was going on with my age, because I had Kaz, and I had Mel, and I had Mo, I had MC Light, I had Mooney Love. Why do you think the girls don't think? I knew hip-hop was in jeopardy. I knew our culture was being disrespected, and they don't care about y'all or me when the She-Hulk was twerking. On the Marvel comic book, the She-Hulk. Is that what our women do? So that's what I'm saying. What happened to the Monie Loves, the Bahamadia, the Rhapsodies, the MC Light? MC Light wasn't a female MC. She was a dope-ass MC that made the dudes go home and write. Facts.
They still here.
So that's
Culture just likes that other shit.
in this game, and I'm fortunate to be still here.
Fact.
We're about to do Q&A. So get your questions, please.
Oh, I got one.
Diatribe. That's it. You know what I mean? Because we want to get as many questions in as we possibly can. But, I mean, y'all know I had about 3 pages of questions, and I can't get them all in. But there's one question I want to ask you about a particular song. You know, you guys did a lot of songs, but there's one that probably changed my life. It definitely changed my life.
Wow.
Proud to be black.
You know I'm proud to be black, y'all, and that's a fact, y'all. And if you try to take my gun, I'll take it back, y'all. Yup.
That record was very, very powerful. I mean, it's still powerful.
Dr. Dre and T-Money and Public Enemy. Public Enemy was doing what they was doing, but they was like, we're not doing what y'all doing. So they come to Chunking House of Metal one day and said, we got a song idea for y'all. And we go, what is it? And out of respect to them, we was like, okay, we'll do it. We was like, yo, we ain't we ain't conscious rappers, or we ain't political rappers, or whatever. And Dr. Dre and T-Money, not even Chuck and Hank and them, Dr. Dre and them T-Money said, yes, y'all. So you know me and runners, what do you mean? What the fuck y'all did? It's like that.
Yeah.
So if y'all can talk about how the world is, why can't you do a record like this about your people? Oh, okay. And we did it. And the beauty of that was, just like the little kid was chasing us in the Rockbox video, all through the Raising Hell, all through the Tougher Than Leather movie, Tougher Than Leather tour, all through the Together Forever tour with the BCs, all throughout Europe and Germany and everything, we got white people up front screaming, you know, I'm proud to be black, knowing every lyric. So that was Public Enemy saying, this is an opportunity for our responsibility of this MIC, and what better entity to use than Run DMC and Jam Master Jay, who are representing this cultural movement. It was a testimony of the power that existed, which inspired, damn, after Run DMC did that shit, they changed the nation, which inspired them. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. But just that statement and what we were doing with hip hop shows us the power that we have. I was just in Elkhart, Indiana. We went there for a performance. The community is like maybe 75% black or whatever, and they do nothing for the black people there, right? This is funny. To get to Elkhart, Indiana, you gotta drive to Notre Dame. So when you drive to Notre Dame, you see this opulence, and you see the big houses. And then after a 10-minute drive to the Notre Dame, where the university is at, you get to Elkhart, Indiana. It's so crazy that it literally, you ever see a Western with Main Street?
Yeah.
You know, and have to get the coming down for the gunfight. It's exactly that, but the ground is paved.
Okay.
And if they got the pub and a store like that. So we're in Elkhart, Indiana, and it's that there's no programs and nothing for that. And I'm bringing this up to say they do nothing for the community. But what the black people started to do, we're going to raise money, we're going to stick together. They started doing bake sales, and they're selling the food, and they're doing performances. Now, the people that don't want to support them, man, come to town when we do our thing. Like, the white people. But the good ones too, but the majority of them that don't want nothing to do with us, but the ones that want to look good because this is going on. And you know what brings them to Elkhart, Indiana? This is so funny, yo. Chucky, this is funny. They don't come there. They don't care about the education. They don't care about nothing there. But when these black people said, we're going to do something for our community so that the vendors and the local businessmen can make some money, you know what I'm saying, once or twice a week, they call in Bootsy. They call in George Clinton. They call in all of our creatives, and they're coming to enjoy our music, but they don't want to mess with us. Think about that. So we do have a power. Hip-hop didn't just create rappers, y'all. So it's our responsibility to, y'all gotta become the subjects for your kids that's in college. Have your children write books about you and your grandmother. What was she was doing in 65? That's the next hot series on Netflix. We so busy looking, not knowing we could be doing. And it goes back to, even when there's nothing, there is something to use. So in the Bronx, and not just in every hood, but it took the Bronx to be an example. Oh man, what we got? Well, we just got the music of the people that we see on Soul Train and American Bandstand. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell my story. So let's start telling our stories. And if you don't know how to tell your story, there's a university down the block waiting for a student waiting for you so he could get an A++ from his professor by telling a story where it has to do with economics, music, creativity, cooking, politics, slavery, history, civil rights. It's all of their health. Go sit down and talk to the man that had diabetes and ain't got no legs. These are the stories that's going to elevate us as a community and a culture.
All right, we got time for about 1 or 2 questions. All right, let's add.
Okay.
All right.
Real quick question, man, and thank you for question.
Real quick question, man. Now, when artists now stop getting paid for their record sales, and now they're getting streaming and things like that, do you think that stopped the creativity in hip hop? As far as like now they're not selling records anymore? Was that?
No, not at all. See, that's a one-sided question because there's only people that know hip hop to the music business. But hip hop is thriving. Go to Japan, go to Europe, every place except America, hip hop is thriving in its original form. Now that whole music business is a whole nother discussion that we need some of the kids that are in college right now to come out and create companies to change that. We need to be we need to be executives at Spotify and say, fuck that shit. like Master P, no, you take 10, I'm gonna take 90.
Right.
Because they're gonna take it.
Anyway.
10 times for them is what they're taking from us in the beginning.
Quick question.
My quick question, first of all, I say thank you for being here, showing love to Delaware. My question is quick, and it's real simple. Did you really think hip hop would make it this far?
No. Because the only destination was, it's funny, just for me, in New York City, our only destination was to get Mr. Magic, or Red Alert, Chuck Chill Out, Awesome 2, or the Supreme Team to play your record on the radio show.
I heard that.
Once that happened, you're done. All of this other stuff, but to answer real quick, we was in London and they asked Jay that, and this applies to all of us. I was like, wow, I never thought of that. They asked Jay, did you ever think hip hop would get this far? He said, yeah, I knew it would because it was so big to me. I was like, whoa, right.
That's a bar.
All right.
Do you remember when going to East New York, I was that little kid. You pulled up, you had a blue Cadillac.
Black.
Yeah. I was the guy that washed your car on Van Sickle.
Talk that talk.
Yeah. I was the guy on Van Sickle.
Wow. What's your name?
Chris B.
Wow.
Funny that you say that. I actually went back to school as an adult, got my degree, I got my bachelor's.
That's right, black man.
Last week, I got my first publishing deal.
Oh, wow. See? Wow.
And this is the first time I got a chance to thank you.
Wow. I remember that day.
Yeah, because when you came to the neighborhood, I didn't know who you were. But I just saw you was cool, everybody said, yo, and he said, go wash the car. I said, all right, I'll wash the car. I'm just saying as a kid.
Wow.
Respect.
True story.
Let me ask this question.
All right, last question. Thank you.
Respect, Jay, respect.
Yeah,
didn't catch it.
First of all, I want to say thank you. My name is Eli the Book. I'm a book publisher. I want to ask you this question. You've been around the world.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of things, right? In your opinion, what leader or mentor has the framework or design for our growth back to God and goddesses?
Great question.
Good question, black man.
It is our growth back to God and goddesses is anything to do with creativity. Writing, journalism, art, painting, playwriting, cooking, baking, building. Barry White said it so plain when everybody was mad at him for saying he was God. And there's an interview with him, and he said, we get to create. You saw that? And he said, he took it further. He said, we are gods. He said, can't we create life? Can't we kill a person? Enough said. Our power is back to the creativity. We're so busy trying to be what we see everybody else doing instead of being what you. And that's a great segue into the soul sonic force. Remember the message? It's fucked up, everything's ruined, this and that, which was the truth. But then the soul sonic force came with Planet Rock. Let me just end with this. The soul sonic force, and these bars are better than 99% of everybody in hip hop. Soul sonic force, Mr. Biggs, Powwow and MC Glow, we emphasize to show we got ego, make this your night, rock it by day, as the people say, live it up, shucks, no more, or play our world is free, be what you want, just be. Be what you want, just be.
DMC will be upstairs selling books, selling cookies. He's an entrepreneur, a businessman, an artist, a visionary. Meet us upstairs.